FNL people thought that, hey, maybe they're not as consistent, but let's get back to the action here in game one.
So I will go first.
All right.
Good luck.
All right, man. Demetrius
Ready to go?
is going first with Live Twin Spright. Floow is another one that's been sneaking around the format a little bit. See one or two of them popping up from time to time. You'll probably get a few branded.
I'll go
as
standby.
well.
Where's ready to go, right?
Yes.
Yep. Standby main phase.
Floow going first.
Okay.
Oh, Floow is
Peeking
going first.
in
There we
main.
go.
I think that there's an opening
Go
Terraform.
ahead
It's always
and
good.
activate Pot of Duality.
Floow does not special summon basically at all, for the most part. Duality for 3, revealing a thrust, a map, and an Acompanhe.
So that's interesting, using the duality first as opposed to the terraforming.
I could have shuffled up the deck a little bit, maybe not see that map, maybe get a little bit of extra reach there.
You're also just like, if it's just not in there, for instance.
Anything on resolution?
No resolution.
Nothing on resolution. That doesn't seem like there's a drone Lockbird.
Yeah,
coming
that's
down.
what I was thinking. Is maybe he's doing it so that if he
Activate terraforming?
terraforms into the map and then gets drolled,
Oh,
that could be a problem.
that makes sense.
Maybe Pot of Duality gets you to something that could stop it or let you play
Adding
around it.
map to hand.
So he's going to go grab the map now, it's the one that probably he revealed earlier. But now he has the triple tactic thrust. That makes it so that it's a little bit harder for Demetrius to activate any sort of hand-based disruption. That's a monster effect.
Yeah, and you don't want to give your opponent like a Harpy's Featherstorm if they're main decking it, for instance.
No, for sure.
And if you're maining thrust, you've probably got one in there.
Then
Or making it searchable. Making all these, I guess, normal spell, normal trap cards searchable definitely adds a whole new layer to the game.
Yes, you have to be very careful with your monster-based interactions.
I'll activate the effective map.
Yep.
Revealing Street.
We're going to reveal Street with the map, and that's going to allow the additional normal summon, plus we're going to be banishing out a card. And that's going to be Rabina.
Rabina.
Not exactly shocking. This is just the order of
Yeah.
things as you get to the Robina first.
Rabina is
Then
probably
new
the best
chain.
one you want to open anyway, because you can get to
2
the
triggers.
Eaglin.
My first
But the
trigger
one
will be
that I think people should negate the
targeting
most
my
often
Pot of
should be
Duality. My
Eaglin.
second trigger will be Rabina's Chainlink 2 to add to hand.
Yep. So
Rabina
Robina's
will add to
in.
hand. Street will, it was Duality, right?
And therefore they get
and
the
I'll
additional
continue to
normal
resolve
summon,
this.
because something you must resolve the
Go
level
Rabina.
1
Yep.
summon triggers
Then new
to
chain.
get the additional
Activate
summon.
Rabina effect to search and summon.
Yep.
So Rabina will be able to search for a level 4 or lower
Yep, that one's level 4 or lower.
wing beast monster.
Grab Eaglin.
Eaglin has been added to hand, and Eaglin's probably going to touch down very soon as well. As I mentioned earlier, Eaglin's probably the one that you want to stop
Continue
because
resolving.
most of these Floow monsters are pretty small
chain.
in terms of
Eaglin effect.
attack stats.
Yep.
And Eaglin's the one that searches for the level 7 or higher.
It's going to go through. And Demetrius is taking a quick look at the map. The map is a pain. It is really a pain to deal with.
It does add another layer of disruption upon normal summoning. It almost feels like a trap hole.
Almost, yeah. We get the Acompanhe up next.
There's lots of things to consider here. One fun fact about Acompanhe is that Acompanhe can normal summon any other monster. It doesn't have to be a winged beast.
Just,
Okay, new chain.
it's free.
We'll go Acompanhe Chainlink 1. Eaglin
Eaglin's Chainlink 2.
Chainlink 2.
Now the Rabina's already
Eagle
activated
add
this turn.
Yes, will not.
then search.
That will not be
And
coming back to hand,
summon.
but it's usually pretty good to actually load a bunch of banished Wanderies just so they can rearrange your chain link, so that it's very difficult to directly chain an Ash Blossom Joy Spring onto your cards.
Exactly. So as long as you always have that one banished, you're going to be fine.
Don't get greedy and add them all to your hand. It's not about the hand advantage here. It's about having the perfect tempo.
At this?
Grabbing Unexplored Winds next. Now this is the one that lets you kind of share the tribute cost with your opponent by sending
Then
one of their monsters to the
I'll
graveyard when you're tributing
Decline to
someone.
I believe
summon.
you can send any card.
Yeah, it's true. It is any card.
It's any card.
It's
You
not
can-
just Soul Exchange.
Yeah.
It's all the stuff.
You can take out
Now-
Skill Drain if that becomes a problem.
I'll activate Advent.
Ooh,
Advent,
Advent. There's going to be
That's
some
my cost.
life point gain, and
I'll gain
we're going to banish the
500.
Acompanhe. This allows you to add the map or any of your Floowanderies monsters.
Adding to come.
Yep.
Hana.
We've seen Rabina, Eaglin, Toucan, and Street. So that's basically all of them at this point.
The entire family of birds have surfaced.
Everyone except for the other high-level
Snowl.
Snowl.
So it puts me on 85.
Yep.
Off of the effect of Advent.
Don't always play Snowl, though. There was kind of a renaissance of Snowl, like in the middle of the past
just got
year.
this?
It's gone away now.
We're just back
Migrated back to its home.
It's
a winter bird.
I'm sorry, it is summer now, and we're not going to see that bird anymore.
No more
snow. Toucan. I will use Toucan's effect targeting Imp.
So Toucan lets you add back one of your
Continuing the
banished Floowanderees. And we're going to continue.
Then we'll go
To summon
Imp
Imp
Chain
again?
Link 1, Toucan Chain Link 2.
Well, that's a lot of cards loaded
Hand,
from the Empen.
Search summon.
This feels like a combo deck.
Let me check my hand quickly.
Yeah,
It
it's the comboiest Monarch deck that's out there.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's extra deck Monarch.
Yes. Now that is going to be Dreaming Town.
Yep.
All right. Then I will set 1, 2.
Setting 1, setting
I
2.
will activate the effect, or activate Unexplored Winds the card.
And activate the Unexplored
And
Winds.
then I will proceed to end phase.
So
Faster.
those continuous spell, trap cards, and the field spell, they do pose as forms of disruption, forms of removal against the board. We're going to see how Demetrius is going to answer what is available here.
And Dreaming Town is just a really incredible card. It gives you both an extra normal summon, on your opponent's turn, but you can also banish it from the graveyard to flip some stuff down.
Yeah, it flips everything on the other
Everything
side.
down.
I mean, it's a really good card against Cashier. I can see why it is in the deck. That's one of the key reasons why the Cashier deck would meet their defeat. But how is this going to play against Live Twin Spright? I mean, you do want to maintain the level 2 up, so that particular effect could come in handy. But you do need to get a
Tribute summon
Tribute
level
summon
7 or
hand
higher.
3.
That's 3.
Normal summon Kiss a Kill.
normal summon out
Special
Kiss a
summon
Kill.
from deck.
Thank you.
We have a field spell trigger that's available that could lead to removal of that Kiss a Kill, but I don't think it's, unless it's a negation, I don't think it's
Chain
actually
effective
worth
map.
right here.
Since you normal summon, for normal summon.
Now, Clayton's going to get a normal summon as well.
It's going to be
Eaglin.
Eaglin.
Go ahead, resolve.
Eaglin will happen on a new chain because Eaglin got normal summon.
Yeah, so these are all if this card is normal summon. If it was when this card was normal summon, this deck wouldn't function at all.
Yeah.
Okay. New chain will be Eaglin Chain Link 1.
Yep.
And then
Okay.
thinking second chain.
Eaglin's Chain Link 1, you probably want to tack on another one of the Floowanderees monster that's banished, just so
Three
that
Chain Link 2.
there's no ash.
No response?
No response.
May I read this?
No response. Lilla has been summoned onto the field. We're going to see if Clayton's trying to push for flipping all the monsters face down, but it could be a bit early.
So
If there's
then
additional free
second
specials
chain
on
link
level
was
2,
Street.
we're going to probably see
As the
more
hand.
Sprite monsters coming
Search
down.
summon.
Yep.
Yeah,
Or-
so the tricky thing here is that once there's a link monster, the link
Apex
monster
Avian?
can't be flipped face down.
Yes.
So you'll have a link 2 monster, and that'll at least let you summon,
Sorry.
I think it's the fire Sprite monsters.
Mhm.
'Cause the summoning condition's different. They can
Yes.
both be special summoned if there's a level 2. But I think it's the darks need
Continuing
a
Eaglin's effect.
Exceeds.
Yep.
Xyz, and the fires
I'll
need
send
a link.
Eaglin and Kisakill.
They're a little bit color coded.
Unexplored Winds is effect.
Would you like to cut?
So we have
You didn't
the...
get this
Ooh,
right.
the Apex Avian.
Now there's negation on board,
Continuing.
but the level 2 still remains on the field. We're going to see
Ruler?
a well-timed Dark Ruler no more, turning off both the Empen and the Mist Valley Apex Avian.
Not bad. Good on Demetrius for
Special
waiting for
summon
that
Frost.
Apex Avian
Like a
instead of
troll
just
retreat.
shotgun the Dark Ruler.
We're going to special summon a Kisakill Frost because we have a Lilla on the field, and we're now going into Exceed Summoning, building the overlay network into our Mosquito, number 2, I believe.
Yeah, so this is a neat one from is it Battle's Legend or Brothers of Legend? The Ninja Shadow Mosquito?
Yes. A very dangerous card.
Yeah,
that
so this
card.
is the one that creates hallucination counters.
Mm-hmm.
And it can attack a bunch, and it can reflect damage back
Yes.
to the opponent based on if they have a hallucination counter or not.
Yeah, this is definitely one that punishes people for leaving very big monsters on the
Proceed to
field.
battle.
And we're going to battle phase.
Um,
But it sure looks like we're using this mainly because this monster cannot be destroyed by battle. And it seems like Demetrius is trying to go for a Zeus play here.
Also makes a lot of sense. Clear all this stuff out at once. Especially since the
Swing
avian
at Empen.
is...
Attack into Empen.
Any response on attack? No activation on Shadow Mosquito.
she said?
When it's he has
He's
a
using the effect, I believe, to put a hallucination counter on attack.
good.
Nothing on declaration.
not team battle. In the battle,
Or maybe not.
main
But
phase 2.
NXT's monster has declared battle.
Do you not take damage?
No,
Oh, yes.
That is such a scary monster. One of the most powerful Link 2s, I believe. It closed out many, many games in the past, and it also opens up for a Zeus play here. We're going to see the effect of Zeus come down. We're going to wonder if there's going to be any disruption on here. Otherwise, the board is about to get wiped off. Oh, it feels just... This is the Dark Ruler plus board wipe.
Yep.
Love to see it, but definitely don't want to be on the receiving end of it.
And it's rough for Clayton because he has the Apex Avian there. It's just Dark Ruler's one thing that you can't use it against.
Main deck Dark Ruler no more. I kind of want to point that out. Lots of people are choosing to have these options in their deck. Oh,
Activate Dreaming Town?
but we're not done yet. We're activating Dreaming Town. But the monster that comes out is going to be sent to the graveyard anyway.
Then Zeus resolve?
He's going to get banished, however. Not really sent to the graveyard, since it is being
Then
removed.
new chain.
That street needs
Am
to
I
be
legally allowed
banished.
to activate Robina here? Since a
The
Wing
street
Beast was
does
summoned
need
on
to
last
be.
chain. Okay. So
So-
I'll activate Robina.
We can't activate the Fluanderies that
Oh,
was
this is- sorry.
summoned
This is banished.
because it's not on the field.
Mhm.
Can't activate the trigger effective card that doesn't exist.
Yep.
That's right.
Okay. Receive any of his two.
But it does let him cycle and get a different card out, the Robina to recover. So that's a Zeus
So
with
one material?
one material.
Yep.
Draw.
And that's a lot better to face down than a Zeus with two
Stand by
materials.
Matrix.
Now with this game is more or less pretty open for Clayton to kind of reestablish his foothold here.
As long as he can get past the Zeus right now, I think he's going to be back in the driver's seat. The graveyard's loaded up with the Dream Town, right?
I mean, Demetrius did a pretty good job on cleaning off the field of all of the different types of interaction, definitely simplifying the game state to this particular point. But if Clayton rebuilds
will
everything, which is very
start
easy
your
for a
main phase.
Fluanderies player,
Normal
with
summon Robina.
Rabina,
Trigger chain would be Robina 1.
and then we're going to see the
Eaglin
change
two.
here. Eaglins 2. This
hand.
more or less guarantees Eaglin is going to go to hand, even if this gets disrupted.
Yeah, losing the unexplored lands hurts a bit, though, since that would just get rid of the Zeus right away whenever you need to.
That's true.
You have to be a little more creative to get this to work. So you're going to go ahead and get this Samoric Bird of Perfection.
Continuing to resolve.
And we're going to proceed with the normal summon of Eaglin.
Go Eaglin. Eaglin chain link 1. Street chain link 2.
Eaglin's Chainlink 1, Street Chainlink 2. Okay, we get to add the Street back into hand. And the Eaglin, what high level monster are you going to grab next? We're going to go for Mega Ryza.
At Ryza.
So Ryza, the Mega Monarch, has been
Continue.
added to hand.
Street.
Yep.
2 chain links.
Normal summon of the
One is
Street.
Street. Target is.
Street target. Now, banishing some of your own cards here is very vital to getting more cards back because Toucan can get the
Second
card
trigger.
back into hand.
Is Shmorg itself.
And Chainlink 2, Smorg from hand.
Shmorg will normal summon.
Another normal summon. This whole deck is just
Street
bypassing
banishes,
special
second
summon.
summon.
You just need normal summons if you got it.
And the
Toucan?
Smorg is pretty hefty, too.
Two
It's
triggers.
a 1,500 attack monster.
Toucan 1.
Yeah.
Target
Kind of.
infant.
Yep.
Second
the
will
big
be
brother of
Correction,
all
which
these
is
other birds.
Cost. Do you have any response?
And Toucan, like I said earlier, is going to come down. And because Street banished, the Toucan and Street, they work together of
Add.
loading some of the stuff in your graveyard back into your hand. Likely we're going to see the M-Pen come down once again.
Now, that card that was searched out there, if you haven't seen before, that's Elborz, the Sacred Lands of Simorg. That's the Simorg field spell. I think it's from Rising
Comes effect
Rampage.
to add, and I'll
Oh,
summon
that's
that.
when we did the Simorg cards. But Simorg and Fluanderies have kind of like a similar play style. It's all the
Imp in
extra
one.
summon. So the Sacred Lands of Simorg, you can reveal level 5 or higher Wing Beast, and you can normal summon Wing Beast monsters for 1 less tribute for the turn. So it can turn your 7s into 5s, essentially.
It could prove to be quite crucial.
And if you can believe it, it also has an extra normal summon effect.
Of course, of course. Everything's all about getting the additional normal summon. Now, can we attack over the Zeus? 3,000 defense. I guess we don't need
cut
to
it in half, though, can't you?
You can, but we also have Ryza to also answer this particular problem, as we're about to tribute summon into Ryza, the Mega Monarch.
We have 2 chain links.
We hit the wind.
Birds, but Monarch is 1.
Yep.
Did we tribute the wind?
Top of deck.
Simorg is both while it's on the field.
Okay, so it does count. It does count. So we're going to be able to see cards being shuffled back to the top of the deck, as well as the graveyard. And then
the other tribute that's banished face up should be a win.
We will send.
Yes.
Avion.
Yep.
Avion's coming back. There's just many ways to cycle stuff out of the graveyard, either by putting back to the deck or just banishing it with Wonderies.
Okay, so resolving back. Or no. This.
So.
And resolving backwards, that goes.
Goodbye, Zeus.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage on the field, too.
Anything on resolution?
That's what?
Nope.
28 and 3 and 18. It's
Activate
not quite
elbows.
enough, but there's another normal summon effect coming. You control a wing.
Okay. Field spell
Go to battle phase.
is good. We're going to battle
This
phase.
would be 21, 3,000, 31 per game.
That is game.
It's the plus 300. It also gives you plus 300 on the wing beasts.
I mean, that's really big.
The Ryza and the Simorg are both. So that Simorg Word of Protection, like it's dark, but it's also counted as wind while it's on the field, so it'll still get that boost.
So
Kind of like Dark Simorg,
Oh yes. I haven't seen that card in a while.
right?
Usually paired with anti-spell fragrance, just to prevent people from setting cards at all.
It's a lot. So, Demetrius was able to get back in there with the Zeus. Played pretty well, holding off on the Dark Ruler until he saw Simorg, or not Simorg, Mist Valley Apex Avian. Make sure that he blanks that out and is able to get that Zeus through. So good on him there, but Clayton's Floow deck just had all the gas left, and he was able to get things done on the next turn. Pretty good game 1.
Yes.
Going on there.
I think Clayton's resource management right there was really spectacular. Managed to get all the birds available. Once you get all the birds available, then there's no problem of recycling your resources. There's no problem of your cards going into the graveyard, because that also becomes a resource pool once you have access to all of your tiny Floowanderees.
Absolutely. And, with the threat of the Triple Tactics Thrust, waiting just in case Demetrius did have any monster effects to resolve, or to interrupt him with, it's a tough position to be in that.
Because you could just lose it just to a Harvey's Featherstorm at that point.
It's like, I want to activate this, but then I'm not going to activate any monster effects on my next turn. So what am I really accomplishing here by doing it?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very deterring play, just revealing that you have the thrust.
I'm still a little surprised on going with the duality first over the terraforming. I feel like conventional wisdom really is you get the guaranteed card out of your deck with the terraforming, and then you play the duality to see something different.
But I think the threat of Drone Lockbird is just so real here, because Drone Lockbird could just cut your entire turn to basically nothing else left. You can't combo, you can't do your thing. And I think maybe that is the right call. And the Kashtira players have also made this pretty notable. If they have terraforming and then the field spell play, they have unicorn, they're going to go for unicorn first, even though the unicorn search is probably the higher priority, but they need to get that card.
So duels are siding up here. I do wonder how many people actually prepared for Floowanderees for over the weekend.
I really don't think too many have prepared for this. I mean, Floowanderees, a lot of people they say that, Floowanderees has a pretty good Kashtira match. I mean, playing into this tournament, you are expecting to play against them. And I think the trap card effect of flipping everything face down is one thing that's going to give them a lot of advantage. But at the same time, once the Kashtira players land their monster, it's going to be ridiculously hard to run over anything. Considering how many, all your stuff activate as monster effects, they trigger on your monster effect. Not the best thing, especially Fenrir being able to clear your cards off.
You need a lot of those flip down effects. But Wandery's got some of that.
But looking into siding, Demetrius, having the choice to go first or second, probably going to choose to go first, like in this case, because Floowandereeze is definitely a deck that wants to get their normal summon down, and you want them to at least take an additional step before they get to start playing.
And it's scary too, because Floowandereeze is also one of the decks that can main deck Dimension Shifter and just not even care about it.
Now, how
They're always under the threat of that.
It's true, but how effective would like Live Twin Runic Spright be?
It really depends on what all is in there. So if you're playing any sort of the nimble stuff in there, the shifter kind of makes that a lot worse. It's also tough for the Live Twin part of the deck, because a lot of the plays involve, you make the first Link monster and you send it to the graveyard for the second and then bring it back, but if it's not in the graveyard, then you're just cut off right there. So I think there's a bunch of stuff you can do with Dimension Shifter to mess things up.
So if I was a Spright player and I got hit by a Dimension Shifter, I would probably leave monsters like Carrot and Red on the field, so I would have the disruption available, and hopefully I have layered disruption, something from the back as well, so I can answer the Floowandereeze. I want to get infinite permanence, be able to negate the monster on the field to prevent additional normal summon and just prevent the second normal summon from coming out. I think that should be a crucial point of getting the turn back.
That's actually one of the times when it's good to have the extra copies of Red or Carrot. Is if you do get shifted, right, and you have to put those things out, and you have to tribute something off and lose it forever, well, if there's a backup copy in your deck, you can still lock that back in later on and finish the duel out.
I mean, that has been a trend where, back when Spright first came out, it was only the one red, one carrot. But lately, we've been seeing the deck list load up a little bit more.
How much time is on the clock?
Sometimes, occasionally, some people play 3, maybe decide an extra copy in, especially when they know that matchup does not have any spell or trap cards. Back in Super Heavy Samurai, maybe you just want the additional negation. It's possible. And even personally, I play 2 copies of Carrot myself just because the spell cards are just so rampant right now, and we just need that preparation. And having the extra free summon is not even that bad either.
Right. I mean, you're nothing without your level 2s, right? Yeah. And you need all those different names. You can only special summon once each turn. So speaking of 2s, we've got a game 2 for you here in round 2 coming right up.
Now, I'm going to take a wild guess here, saying Demetrius is probably going to choose to go first on this one. I don't see a reason why you would give up that going first advantage. Sunny Snitch has been activated. We're going to be able to add to our hand a Live Twin monster. And now we're going to get an influx of life point changing, potentially.
Sunny Snitch is nice against a deck like this, where you're just summoning constantly.
And you chip away at the life points long enough, then your reach will... You won't need such a large reach to get to the next game. Normal summon out Live Twin Lilla into Kiss a Kill Frost.
Let's go Frost. Great way to get extra card.
Yeah, for sure. Special summon out Blue. Love to see this one. One of the best monsters in Sprites. Spright really depends on the hand here. If he already has the Jet, he probably would go for... Well, apparently not. We're going to go for the Jet. You probably want to go for the Jet if you don't have the Jet, but if you already have the Jet, you might want to set up some form of disruption. So that all your other
red
monsters
down, for instance, right now.
For sure. But judging by Clayton, he did not activate anything really close to a dimensional shifter.
Maybe go Gigantic
Spright.
That's good.
And it's successful. We're going to resolve this. That more or less telegraphs that Clayton probably does not have a dimensional shifter. And there's probably no Droll Knockbird either because Sunny Snitch came down, so we're just trying to see if we can break apart what's available here. These are the things that players, goes through player's mind on reading what you have in your hand.
So it could be that Clayton decided into board breakers, that sort of thing. Maybe he's got his own Dark Ruler no more showing up for even match.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think evenly match is going to be a tougher time to land when it comes to against a Spright deck, just because they already have Spell Trap negation just by base. But if you manage to land both a Dark Ruler and the Dark Ruler evenly combo, that one would more or less guarantee a full board wipe unless you have counter traps at that point.
Not something you're really seeing in Spright. You'll get the double cross though, which is a great card.
We're going to go for a Spright starter. We're going to take a little bit of damage here.
I'll take 12.
We're taking 12. We got the double red.
All right. We're going to layer reds.
Now, they are still once per turn. Let's not forget that. But he just wanted it as a name. We are going to link it off into Spright Sprint. Sprint's effect is now going off. And surprisingly, well, not surprising, there's no D-shifter, but it would be a very interesting moment, like, oh, I wasn't prepared for this. All of a sudden, a D-shifter comes out on Sprint, and that's when it really hurts.
Yeah. Now, it wouldn't go through.
Yeah, it wouldn't go through.
For unread. But you can see he's also got the nimble cards in here, sending Angler to summon 2 beavers. It's just kind of all of the stuff. Everything but the runics.
Yep, I don't think this is going to be a runic build.
Maybe no Melfies either. Now you got to be careful with your linked zones here. There we go.
We're going
Sprite, Sprint is pointing down left, so this is where it's got to go.
Evil Twin, Kiss a Kill. Now we're going to continue our summoning combo into IP Masquerena. We do have an arrow opened up from Evil Twin and Kiss a Kill.
I thought the Kiss a Kill targeting
You don't
Lila?
target. Thinking.
We are targeting the Lila for that summon. Oh, is there a disrupt? Is it D Crow?
That's good.
Nope.
Notably, though, it doesn't target. You just special summon the Lila monster.
It doesn't target. I believe it can summon from hand as well.
No.
No, it's just the graveyard.
All right.
You have a link zone?
Here.
He does have a link at the Sprint.
Oh,
Sprint.
That's a Sprint. That's a Sprint.
Look at that.
Yeah, I gotcha. Effect
And
targeting.
effect. He has to go for a Kiss a Kill. Summon Kiss a Kill. Now has opened up another zone available for the extra deck. Kiss a Kill will be able to draw a card. We're going to set 3 cards. We're passing turn.
Wow, that is pretty. That's a lot.
That's a lot. Now, the only card that's not a true disruption on this field right now is that Sprint. Sprint does not have an Xyz monster to detach material to get the additional bounce on special summon. But
Interesting with the Masquerena, though, you can just link something away, like link away the Lila and then revive it.
I think the biggest threat here is going to be the red. Red is probably going to tribute off one of the twins, just so that the other twin can revive each other. And then the IP Masquerade is probably going to link off with one of the twins, just so that you can get another one out.
And it looks like the Easter Half Blossom for turn, which just, it wounds me every time I see it.
Oh,
Play.
6 card.
It is painful.
Normal summon Robina.
Rabina has been summoned out. Are we going to see a negation? Now, if there's 2 negations on monsters, it's going to be a very difficult time for Clayton since he's choosing to go into the board right away. We're going to see infinite
Anytime you
impermanence.
normal or
Yes,
special summon
that is
monster, take 200 each time. So it's like a
And
troll.
you gain.
And there's a
So put you on 7.
200 life point gain, a 200 life point lost thanks to Sunny Snitch.
So Rabina gets negated
that puts me
by
on
Imperm.
78.
The column has been turned off on the second column, so that's something to be aware of.
Okay.
The most punishing misplay, I would say.
This is a total own goal
Attempt to lead
when
main
that
phase
happens.
Thinking.
Demetrius having more follow-up here after the negation, so we are on the response of after the resolution of infinite impermanence. Oh,
IP?
we're going to IP Masquerena. He's declared it.
IP is good.
We're going to take away the Kiss a Kill. This is a 4, sorry, this is a 2 and 2. This is a total of 4 link ratings.
Or 3. You could use one of them as 1.
It's true. Or just 2. 2 bodies. Oh!
Ah, it is going to be 4, though, for Nightmare
Thinking on resolution.
Griffin, and I believe that is co-linked to the Lila.
Yes. We're going to be able to reset a card?
Like with trigger timing?
Yeah.
So discard a card,
'Cause,
reset a card, draw.
Yeah, he has a trigger effect. You're just like, you're good.
Now, I believe all special summon monsters now, they need to be linked
No effects.
to get their effects off now. To
No affect the
activate them.
Griffin, affect the Lila. Targeting Kiss a Kill.
We're going for Lila. Going for Kiss a Kill. Special summoning back. We're just trying to draw another card. I think that co-link is going to maintain. if that Kiss the Kill summons out onto the left side, it's going to remain. It's going to remain co-linked. We're going to draw a card.
So, battle?
We're going to battle phase.
End of battle?
End of battle.
Main phase 2?
Main phase 2. I think that battle phase call was a bit of a bluff. To see if there was anything
he'd have to run the Flandries into something.
Yeah, he could have.
That.
It made sense. I mean, sometimes when you call battle phase, a lot of people predict that, hey, you have an evenly match and start doing everything to minimize their own board in terms of their losses. But then they don't actually go into battle phase because you've done an action and remain in main phase 1 and you answered the problem for them. I felt like that was the case here for Clayton.
I think a lot of times, though, you wait for them to go to the start step of the battle phase, and then you do that so they can't go back and redevelop their field.
It's true, but sometimes there's a lot of cards that can only activate during the main phase, and that's when they do it.
Yeah, like the IP, for instance, it would force that.
The Qualifier is the negate a monster.
Well, sorry, you turned him to the defense position.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking now is we're not in open game state, so I'm asking, are you activating quick attack?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Activate Dreaming Time?
We're going to activate Dreaming Town.
Yep.
Normal?
Because the Eglin.
Resolution? Eaglin effect?
He's got another infinite permanence, so imperm with
Hold
red.
on. Was that activated in the second column, though?
No. Oh, no, yeah, it was, but this is the next
Oh,
turn.
this is the next turn.
Clayton's turn.
Okay, it's Clayton's turn now. But it still got hit by another infinite impermanence.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
And that is Trouble Sunny.
Battle phase?
Sure. Oh, you were correct. So, yeah, so I summoned again. So that puts me down to 76.
Oh, and yeah, we got to keep track of life points here. That one card in the corner, a little tricky there.
Yeah, the 200s do add up very quickly.
Minus.
Well, I mean, they'd add up very quickly if all
76,
these summoning effects
and
weren't
you're
getting negated.
on wait. You're on 17.
Imperm to Imperm. I mean, Imperm is very powerful, one of the best cards against Clayton. Another card really good against Clayton, Drone Lockbird. If you're not unable to add cards in this deck, you lose that additional normal summon that follows up from every single normal summon.
600?
Take a hit here.
33 over here.
33 into the
So
Eaglin.
that puts me on what?
Was it
That's
800 to 33?
And then we have a
800 puts me
Griffin as
down
well.
to 68.
Yep.
So the problem comes up where the reach is actually not that far. Because of
25.
the Sunny
hold on.
Snitch.
Let's calculate like this. 43.
Yep.
Now, you do get the 33 off of
Yeah,
Trouble
is that the
Sunny,
Trouble
and
Sunny?
then you can split Trouble Sunny back up.
Chain.
DD Crow.
Targets your link piece of kill.
Kiss a kill?
Yep.
That's pretty good. That will minimize the damage a little bit. We do get to summon back out our Lilla, though. Lilla, this is currently still the battle phase.
Yes.
And then activate Gamma Burst.
And Gamma Burst is going to push for even
doubles
more
everything up.
damage.
It would have been 19, 25, and
Adding
26.
14 to every single monster is a lot.
Yes, it's basically limiter removal, except a little better, because even your smaller monsters are going to get the 1400 boost.
Yeah, having it across the board,
I
incredible.
I thought I had it. I'll apologize. Because Griffin.
So game 2
blocking your
goes
red.
to Demetrius.
Yeah, no, that's what I was like. I'm gonna be fine with red.
But that setup in turn 1, oh my. Letting everything go through is never a good sign. Unless you have the perfect board breaker.
Yeah, and he was pointing out that the red wasn't actually linked as a special summon monster, so the Griffin was turned off
Yeah.
once he got rid of the
IP Masquerena.
What's the time remaining?
without moving.
11 minutes.
That would be considered as like perhaps a slight misclick, but I guess it didn't matter in the grand scheme of things here. 1-1, they have 11 minutes in left. Now, Flandries getting their first turn back. If you're able to get to that Featherstorm early, that could spell a lot of trouble then.
Yeah, this is a bit of a tough situation, because you have incidental life gain in Flandries as well as part of the quick play spell, and then you have incidental life loss in Spright because of their quick play spell.
Yeah.
So you do need to manage things pretty carefully and also play at a very brisk pace.
Yes.
With under 11 minutes remaining in the match, if you want to make sure that you get to decide yourself.
Now, what would it be if you wonder Ree's players' expectation going into the game 3? Having the choice. Probably going to go first.
Yep.
But are you going to take out the board breakers to establish more ways to directly disrupt the Spright player?
If you know you're going first.
Or do you think that, hey, maybe I can maybe do something a little bit different here?
No, I feel like if you know you're going first, you're just going to play your game normally and disrupt all the stuff they do.
We're going to see if Demetrius is going to be able to open up a hand-based disruption to maybe change things up a little bit.
Yeah, there's no need to get fancy here for anybody.
Yeah, there's a lot of decks that, based on how they build the deck, they're game 3, if they're going to be going first, they more or less unside so many cards that they more or less return to their game 1 package, knowing that they can go first.
No, looking out into the crowd. I think they have some of their friends and fans out there watching right now.
Probably. Now, in the previous game, I can think, well, the Gamma Burst to me was more or less overkill at that point. I think there was just more than enough anyway, and the control that was established probably wasn't going to get taken away anytime soon. But Gamma Burst, one of my favorite cards in Master Duel, especially in the Spright deck. It's just you just don't need to commit too much, especially in the best of 1. You just take it and that's it.
So you won that one?
Yeah, aren't there a bunch of decks that play limiter removal as well? Like,
Yeah.
some Numeron decks just throw that in there.
Yes,
from
they
time to time.
do. Oh, and oh my, the Numeron decks. When you get to go second, all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute. All right, game 3. The all-important game 3.
Clayton looks a little amused by his hand.
I think he's got a pretty good variety. There's some spells, some monsters. I think there's also the maps already in hand. If there's monsters on the map, you more or less have the whole family of birds available at your fingertips.
Stand by mid face.
Yep.
Here we go.
Activate map.
Map is first.
The
Effective map.
magnificent map. Revealing Rabina, the best one to reveal.
Wow, so opening map Rabina is coming first. That's real good.
That's a perfect setup.
That is real good.
Okay. Now let's see if Demetrius has a response to like the
Rabina 1,
chain
Rabina 2.
after the ad.
Rabina.
All right, so adding back to hand, and adding from deck to hand. Still looking. Still there. Air
Hummingbird.
Really?
Neospatian air hummingbird.
Are we really trying to create that big of a life point differential?
I mean, the combos take a little time for sure. I think we're going to probably finish with the air hummingbird now.
I mean, maybe you need it because of the Sunny Stitch, that sort of thing.
Yeah, there could be a life point change to that as well.
Yeah, you can burn through the 500 pretty fast with that, so maybe you do need the extra points.
And we have the Empen summoned out from the added from Eaglin, summoned out to the effect as well.
Rabina 2.
Yep.
Empen 1, Eaglin, Rabina 2. We're going to add a card into our hand. Now, we haven't performed a regular normal summon just yet, so there could be
much time we
even
have
more
left?
follow-up.
6 minutes, just under 6 minutes.
Just under 6 minutes.
Wait, I haven't searched.
Yep.
Yep.
And they're going to be
Don't need the
adding
results?
Dreaming Town.
Yep.
Normal summon air hummingbird. There it is. And that's going to gain, how many life points is per card?
It's
400 per card in hand.
Gaining 2,500.
Yep.
500 per card. That
2,500.
2,500 gain. That's an extra Dark Magician hit right there.
Then I'll use my game mechanic normal summon.
Yep.
Or
That's fine. You can just
do I have to commit to that action?
get 32.
I don't want to do my game mechanic right now.
I heard you verbally
Okay,
say-
that's fine. Game mechanic?
Yep.
He's going to perform a normal summon.
What?
Wow. Haven't seen that card in a long time.
Now, I said you shouldn't get fancy in game 3,
Set 2.
but if that's what you're
Set
drawing,
one,
then
set one.
just do whatever. I'm clearly wrong.
Well, let's hope Demetrius can get out of that vanity spin because, I can't special summon. You can't special summon either.
It's not like Clayton's going to special something. Let's be real.
It's true, but now Demetrius is playing under the same rules.
Let's see what he's got.
I think he needs an infinite impermanence, Dark Ruler no more, something to try out, Book of Moon even. Just
Change of heart. Oh, change of heart. All right.
But even with a change of heart, you still can't special summon.
What's he taking, though?
I think he targeted the Vanity.
That's fine.
Vanity's Fiend?
Why?
Or whatever's anyone.
Yeah, that's fine.
The Vanity's Fiend. All right.
Enemy
what's he gonna do
controller?
with this? Change your heart into Econ? Okay.
Oh, there we go. Now we're cooking Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, he's just going to crash it.
Battle?
Yeah, that's an option.
Yep.
But why crash that? Why not just take the M-Pen and just deal the damage? I mean,
Does he also have evenly?
Battle's fine.
oh,
So is he going to like
Swing at
crash and then go evenly?
but he's also running close on time as well.
That's right. So
Not
you'll
to-
take 300.
Yep.
He could have
Break
definitely
down
added a
77.
bigger life point gap right there if he just activated
Main phase 2.
the M-Pen. We're into main phase 2 now. There was no evenly. Normal summon on Angler. Let's not forget about Eagle's effect.
Special?
Special summon in defense mode, that's correct. You basically have to summon everything in defense mode now. This is a very tough spot for
That's right.
Demetrius.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't too early to bring out the air hummingbird.
It definitely makes all the difference here.
It makes more sense now that I see the Vanity's Fiend.
We're adding
Taking a risk here.
Terrapin.
This was normal summon?
Signing,
Yeah.
please go over to the voice actor section to get in line. The voice actor section to get in line.
And-
is
Auto rest
open.
here. Activate Dreaming Town.
We're going to activate the Dreaming Town.
Searches.
That's going to give him the additional normal summon.
No.
Yep. Okay.
Oh.
Good. Yep.
We're going to Rabina.
Then new chain. Robina Eaglin.
Rabina into Eaglin.
So essentially what he can do is just cycle through the birds again, summon to level 7, and Dream
then-
Town to knock everybody down. Since
Yep.
the normal summon's gone
Tree.
and the blue
Yep.
is gone, so he would
And
have to have
7.
starter at this point, or play like Live Twin Home.
Eaglin effect.
That's
Yep.
very difficult. This is a very tough spot.
And even without the life point differential, I don't know that.
I think Clayton would still take it.
I will
Yeah.
The voice
summon off
actor line
Eaglin.
will be open for Gone Strong. Again, if you wanted to get
And
in line,
we're going to perform a tribute summon that's going to go into the Apex Avian. That's probably going to be multiple chain links here.
Will be Dreaming Town 1.
Dreaming Town 1,
Robina is legally activatable. As 2. Yes.
Rabina 2.
2. 1. Flip both down.
And they are now both flipped face down. A little pseudo Book of Eclipse.
So yeah, now even Sprite Starter isn't good enough because it's specifically Apex Avian, so it's not happening there either.
That is every single line shut down as a follow-up.
Pass.
Yep, past turn. Every line was shut down.
Cut. Yeah. Drop turn.
I think Clayton here can actually close it out.
Stand by main phase.
Yep.
He does still have Rabina.
Yep.
He's going to use map. He's going to be able to probably summon out Mega Ryza. Mega Ryza and all these monsters should be.
Bounce everything away and just go for games.
Exactly.
So it's not even going to get into a time
Robina
situation
1.
here.
No.
Eaglin
Although
2.
the air hummingbird definitely was a blast from the
How much time is
past.
left?
Got a good crowd reaction too. People love air hummingbird.
Gaining 25. I feel like that's an insurance policy right there.
No.
Then I can summon.
Yep.
We'll go Eaglin 1. And think about other triggers. Perfection 2.
Eagle 1, Perfection 2. Well, likely Mega Ryza. Mega Ryza can definitely get rid of both cards on the field.
And you could still leave the 1800 attack on there, so it's going to be
Summon.
significantly more than enough.
Yeah, this is enough.
We'll
there was a
go-
wind that was tributed. That was the Eaglin.
Monarch 1. Targets will be
Monarch 1 for the graveyard, because you do have to
Yeah,
return a
top
card from
of
the
deck.
graveyard to the top of the deck. So we're going to
top
get...
of deck hand, and then Chainlink 2. 2 con.
So one's going back to the hand, one goes to the top of the deck, and one of your own
Yep,
graveyard
got it.
cards goes back to the top of the
You
deck.
got it.
And no,
That'll do
he's
it.
conceding.
It's way more than enough damage there between
Wonder.
all those monsters.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
I didn't know it was like a
It was very, very deadly for Wanderer's deck there. I was not expecting the Vanity's Fiend when that duel started.
No.